Okay, an official welcome as we get started here this morning, and just to welcome some people who are joining us from places afar. It's just after 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and that is in Brisbane, Canberra, Melbourne and Sydney, where it is the 4th of June. In Adelaide, it's just after 7:30 in the morning. In Perth, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, China, it's just after 6 a.m. Auckland, across the ditch there, we have friends joining us, quite a few from New Zealand this morning. It's just after 10 a.m. London in the United Kingdom is indeed Wednesday, the 3rd of June, and it's just after 11 p.m. So thanks for staying up late to be with us. Across there in the United States, Los Angeles, I know we have people in Los Angeles. In fact, just looking down here, who we're getting in Los Angeles, we have Ben Toppett and his team in Los Angeles this morning. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of June. It's just after 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. New York, across in New York, it is just after 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's great to have people joining us from around the world. And specifically, I'll just mention we have Tyson Howe in Hong Kong with his team. We have Sarah Johnson again in Hull from the United Kingdom. We have Eli Angel in New York, I think, with a group of people there. Lots of people over Australia, New Zealand, and so forth and so on. So, look, a very special welcome to all of you. If this is the very first of our Top Gun Web TV events that you've attended, a special warm welcome to you. We do this from time to time when I come across an idea, a concept, something that I feel would be of value to our clients, both domestically and internationally. Our purpose is to simply share ideas, to be of value, to deliver value to our clients wherever they may be. Our major focus, of course, is on helping companies and individuals to be more effective in the sales arena. Now, whilst we focus on training for sales managers and salespeople, every now and again I will come across a concept that I think is useful to combine with the skills that we teach. And one of those is involving our guest that I have joining us this morning. So looking back on some of the ones that we have done in recent times, perhaps you did join us last month where we looked at LinkedIn, and we had Nathaniel Bibby, who's a guru in marketing using LinkedIn. Prior to that, we also had a session I did where I interviewed the people from Zoom US, which I think has the best video conferencing system. In fact, this webinar right now is being using Zoom US platform. And we had a session prior to that where we had the people from We Are Video, who in fact will be showing some of their videos this morning to demonstrate the system that we're going to be talking about. And so it goes back, we've been providing these on a regular basis around about once a month. And this morning's session is going to be a great one for you. If you've ever been questioning, as I have, what is the best way to get leads? You know, there's one thing to get on the telephone and do prospecting, which is what we teach, but you know, we look for leads that come from social media. We looked at LinkedIn just recently. We hear about, is your website, you know, providing you sort of leads? Have you done good SEO work on your website? I was listening to the radio a little while back, and I heard this young man explaining to the audience that he could get you on the front page of Google search. And that immediately got my attention, and I think it must have gotten the attention of many, many people, because here we are now several months later, and I still hear this voice. In fact, I can't get away from this voice. No matter what radio station I'm on, he seems to just pop up talking about, are you getting a high rate of conversion? Is your website working for you? And he... the company mentioned is a company called King Kong, and our guest joining us this morning is the CEO and founder of King Kong, who's waiting patiently at the wings. So his name is Sabri Subri. Have I got that right? Sabri?
Yeah, Sabri Subri, that's the one.
That's good. Okay, this is voice activated, so every time you say something, your picture will come on the screen. So would you please just give me a little bit of your background? I mean, I've gotten to know you very well, and we've been working together. You've helped me improve my website. In fact, we'll be showing the before and after of that this morning, and you can explain why you made these changes and why it is going to work really well for us. And I have absolute confidence it is, because I've seen the results that you're getting for your clients. So please just give us a little bit of your background. How is it that King Kong was created? What is it that you did beforehand? Just bring people up to date as to what brought you to where you are today and what qualifies you to talk about this subject this morning.
Sure, Wayne. Well, look, I've got, I'm a bit of a serial entrepreneur. I've started and run into the ground, sold, and built a lot of businesses. I started my first business at the age of 22 over a summer break at university, and built that up to quite a sizable business with 16 employees and a couple of $1 million in revenue run rate. And I had an opportunity to sell that business, which I went on to do. Since then, I've done joint ventures with AFL football clubs, run a bunch of different startups and e-commerce plays. And yeah, I guess with all those businesses, the thing that's been central is online and online marketing. And it's always been a cornerstone to the success of those businesses. And that's kind of led me where I am today with King Kong. I guess we looked at, I saw an opportunity in the market space to basically, businesses are always looking for, high ROI forms of advertising where they can actually see exactly down to the dollar what kind of ROI it's generating for them. And that's exactly what we specialize in doing.
Where did the name King Kong come from? That seemed like an interesting choice of name, because that certainly grabbed my attention when I heard your advertising.
Yeah, look, it certainly does get a lot of attention. We're not, a relative to the gorilla itself, but basically we looked into the marketplace and seen that everybody has kind of generic and kind of boring names like the internet gurus or top marketing experts, and we just wanted to do, have something that really stood out from the crowd, and it also kind of, doubles in the sense of, business is a jungle, and, we make our clients kind of the king of their jungle.
Oh, I like the concept. Sounds very good. Hey, so many businesses and salespeople and sales managers have real challenges with sales and getting qualified leads and generating leads. After my conversations with you, I understand that you believe it is a change of mindset more than anything else around this, and you've got this concept where you make this extraordinary claim that you can get something like 900% more leads in your inbox. Just explain how you would do that and why you can make such a claim. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, sure. Well, look, as you've highlighted, leads are really the lifeblood to, all businesses. Fresh new leads coming in, fresh new sales opportunities. And what we find is that, if you look at, there's a concept called the buyer's pyramid. And basically what that states is that in any given market, 3% of people are looking to buy now. And then you have, you look at the rest of the pyramid, you have a kind of another 3 to 7% that are certainly open to the concept of buying. And then the rest of the pyramid is basically broken down into 3 different groups, being basically 30% each. And basically what I can do is I can bring that up and show you essentially what that pyramid looks like, and run you through how you can basically get that extra lead count that we're talking about.
Yep,
so as you can see on my screen here, you can see this is what we're talking about with the 3% are looking to buy now, and then 6 to 7% are certainly open to the prospect of buying. Then you have 30% of people that are not really thinking about it, but perhaps would be is your presentation or your product was good enough. And then you have a further 30% that don't think they're interested. And then there's another 30% that know they're not interested. So what we find is that if you look around in the marketplace and you see the type of marketing that is generally taking place, it's all focused towards these 3% of people that are buying now. And that really limits yourself into, how much of the market you can capture. Everyone's just screaming, oh, come and speak to us. We've got the biggest range and the lowest prices. That's only going to really be addressing the people that are essentially looking to buy now. So the mindset that set that we're talking about is, for instance, with our business and everything that we do is based on the concept of educational-based marketing. So it's all built on the premise of providing a lot of value, a lot of content up front, before your prospects even have the chance to buy from you. So usually if you look at these numbers that you can see here in the buyer's pyramid, if you look at really how that transforms into, say, for instance, the online environment, what you can see is that this is kind of what we call the conversion pyramid. And if you look at, most websites, you look at most of their traffic that they're getting, the average bounce rate for a website, and a bounce rate just means the amount of people that essentially come to your website and they don't go past the first page and they just go back to the search results because they aren't finding what they're looking for. The average kind of bounce rate globally right now is 47% for websites. So you're spending all this money, you're getting traffic through to your website, but 47% of those people just leave and they go back to the search results and they go to someone else's website. And then, so then you have, a further 50% that are basically actively interested. So they're still on your website, they're still reading through your concepts and looking at your products and your services and your pricing and what have you. But average conversion rates for websites, for people that actually come to a website and fill out your contact us form and generate into a lead, is average. Obviously it varies from industry to industry, but it's pretty much between 1% and 3%. Meaning that 1% to 3% of all the people that come to your website are actually going to give you their contact details and turn into a lead. And that leaves, a further 50% of all the people that just aren't converting. So what we talk about is that, those other 50% of people, they're not ready to buy right now, but they certainly are on your website for a reason. They're here, they've got a problem, they're looking to get that fixed. So the mindset that we're talking about is basically providing a lot of value through things like conversion magnets and lead magnets and things like that, to offer value, to offer, whether it's a free report or a video or a white paper or FAQs, whatever it might be, to provide content to those people that are actively interested and will be purchasing at some stage, but aren't they're not in that point right now where they're ready to fill out your contact us form and say, look, I'm ready to buy. And that's basically when we implement those shifts for our clients, then we see that, their conversion rates go from numbers as low as 1% and 3%, up to kind of the 30% range, giving them that, that 900% uptick in conversions. Your audio is muted, Wayne. I can't hear you.
I knew that. I was just testing. Thank you for telling me. No, just say that again. You say from 1% up to 30%.
Yes, from 1% to 30%, because you think about the prospect. It's like, for instance, if someone was to come to your website and you're offering, sales training, and there might be 1% to 3% of people that actually come to your website that are actually ready to speak to you about getting your services and employing your services. But then there's another 50% of people that have come to your website because they're interested in training their people. They feel like they're missing opportunities. They want, more sales leads. And generally, most of the time, people are just neglecting that other 50% of people, rather than saying, something along the lines of, download this free sales report that shows you, what the top 1% of sales producers are doing that the 99% of people aren't doing. That would certainly get a lot more people to download that. You get their contact details, and it basically creates an opportunity for you to create that dialogue and to start a relationship with those prospects.
Well, Sabri, that's what got me, I must admit, when I heard your ad on radio, and King Kong, well, that was easy for me to remember, kingkong.com.au. I went and visited your website. Do you mind if I just share the front page of your website with the audience here right now? If you just
go ahead.
If you just click off of share screen there, and I'll take that over and I'll screen share now. Yeah, we've got immediate link to the radio advertising there. Did you hear it on radio? And if you did, obviously they can get the free report that's mentioned in the radio commercial. If not, they can get rid of that, of course. And under that is a really bold statement of what it is that you do. We help companies grow smarter, better, faster, with that symbol on it that indicates there's a video there. And just below that is get started. Well, let me just do that, and let me turn up the volume and share your video. It's only a short one, but this is, well, I'll let the audience judge what sort of response that this may get. And then we'll come back and actually ask you what kind of response you're getting. So let me see if I can get that video.
96% of all businesses fail within their first 10 years. Why? Is it because they lack passion, drive, or the right people? No, it's because the global economy has fundamentally changed in ways you don't yet understand. Most businesses are stuck in the dark ages, screaming offers and trying to pull the hard sale on their customers. Conventional advertising like the yellow pages, newspaper ads, and mailouts are dead. Whether you're big or small, the rules of commerce have changed. After studying the effectiveness of thousands of online marketing campaigns, King Kong has identified the strategies that grow businesses smarter, better, faster. Interested in doubling your sales? Here's one way. Start small. In any given market, 3% of people are looking to buy now. Focus on these 3% of prospects in hunt mode and run a targeted Google AdWords campaign that sends them to a high-converting landing page. Give away something of value for free, encouraging your visitors to sign up and receive a free report, consultation, or white paper. Educate your visitors and give them more value than any of your competitors are willing to give. This will position you as the expert in your industry. Create a campaign of useful information with automated, personalized follow-up messages that follows the client through their buying cycle. By giving more value than anyone else in your market for free, when it comes time to ask for the sale, the results will astonish you. Deploying strategies like these will compound week on week and will have your website running like a well-oiled sales machine. Business is a jungle, and only the strongest survive. King Kong can make you king of your jungle. Speak with us today.
And I did, and many people did. And of course, then I think there's a link there we go. So on the screen there. Now, interesting thing, get these 5 free killer strategies. Now, this is what you're talking about educational marketing, is it not?
Yeah, look, it certainly is. Like, so basically there's, one of the best ways to, increase your conversion rates, as I was mentioning, to numbers that are close to, 30%, is by offering, lead magnets. And if you can let me just come in here and share the screen, because there's, people will obviously be wondering, how do I create a lead magnet for my business? And it's like anything, generally there's a proven formula, and, we can run you through what that proven formula is to basically creating these lead magnets that are going to, essentially get people to opting into your site. So, for instance, a free report to our website. So there's obviously certain ways to structure that content and to get people enticed to actually download, your content. And, you don't need to essentially take it from me or from King Kong. You can simply look at kind of what are, the highest paid copywriters and marketers using to sell information around the world. And so as we look at, for instance, this next slide, you can see that, these are some of the best selling magazines in their respective industries. And if you just take a look and you have a look at all the different covers, there should be something that kind of jumps out, loud and clear to you, other than the fixation with, sex moves and getting 6-packs, chiseled abs. There should be something else that kind of jumps out at you. And basically, if it hasn't jumped out at you already, I'll spell it out. If we look at the first cover there of JLo, and, other than the dashing picture of JLo herself or the glamour headline, the next big thing that obviously jumps out at you is, 587 fall outfit and ideas. And then if you read on for the rest of that cover, 12 naughty sex questions you've been dying to ask. Or if you look at the next cover, 17-day slim down. The next one, 60, sex tips. And it goes on. If you read those covers, you'll see that it's just like there is so many numbers. Like it's just, 10 ways to grow muscle fast. And that is certainly the key, is to basically, use numbers. Numbers create a mental object for your customers and your prospects to wrap their head around. It's much more enticing to read a report that says, 17 days slim down instead of, some interesting ways on how to lose weight. You know, if you've got those actionable numbers on there, it really just helps people, you know, commit. They've got a mental commitment in their mind. Okay, there's 5 things. I'm just going to read the 5 things and I'm going to get essentially what I need. So with, you know, the way that we do our reports, the way that we've, you know, helped Wayne do his, and the way that we do it with all of our clients is you certainly want to be looking at numbers. You know, the 5 critical things that you must know about XYZ industry, or, you know, the 8 things that, you know, no one will tell you about, you know, XYZ. So it's about creating intrigue, and also, you know, using those numbers and leading with those numbers so people can just digest it in their mind before they've even downloaded your report.
Look, absolutely, and those of you who are receiving my my Top Gun video tips will have noticed that over the last couple of months or so, instead of ideas around like, you know, here's some great ideas on negotiating, one I did just recently was the 6 things you absolutely need to know about negotiating. One of the highest viewers we've ever had is one that I did recently. I think it was called the 9 things you need to know about dealing with adversity. Actually, I've had a number of organizations contact us and say, hey, could we put that on our website? Would that be okay? Hey, that's fine. With a link back to our website? Yeah, sure, that's terrific. So the point I'm making is this thing about numbers is really good. I would say that pretty much the viewing of our Top Gun video tips since I've started adding numbers to it has leapt by maybe even up to 100%, and certainly way beyond 100% with some compared to what our previous numbers were. So you absolutely bang on about the numbers grabbing attention there. And the concept of delivering value in advance to clients is a great idea, and I'd like to come back and ask you about that in just a moment. However, may I just screen share again and just here we go. That's fine. Take you to our website. Okay, now we spent quite a lot of time, quite a lot of money redesigning our website, putting pretty pictures on the front there. And where did I get the idea about putting pretty pictures on the front and these links on the front? I got it from looking at other websites and think, well, this is how you structure a website. You put pretty pictures on the front so you look good. It's all about image, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's some interesting information about our programs and about Top Gun and about me. And there's links down the side here where people can click on and they can see other interesting stuff. And we've got the slider at the front there. That's fantastic and beautiful. And of course, what does it really do for us? And the answer is nothing. All it does is it's like a pretty brochure. Does it grab attention? Does it command people's attention? Does it ask them to do anything? Well, what we hope is that maybe they're going to click on some of the links at the top here and have a look at some of the things that we do. And I must admit, until I met Sabri, I basically said, look, no, it's kind of a brochure online, and we're going to really just, and we give people various links and we say, go and have a look at this link. And the content behind the link is really good. But what about people visiting our website? What do they do? If we're lucky, they'll click on some of the links, but there are so many links there. Like, what do you really look at first? So with Sabri's input and help, Sabri redesigned this for us recently, and I'm just going to flip over to the new look Top Gun website, and I've scrolled it down, but let me scroll it back up to the top. This is now the way it appears. So this is a little bit more, a little bit more grabbing. Whoops, shift that off there.
I can even do, I've got a before and after image as well. I can bring up on my screen if you wanted.
Well, I'll leave it with mine just for now because I want to show the video at the bottom and it's just cute. But yeah, we can do that in just a moment because I'd like you to talk about what the next step is when you're delivering value in advance. So we've got a pretty grabby statement there. And then here are the 2 reports. And you've created these images for us, the 10 things the top 1% of sales producers do differently. I mean, you're really going to know what it is that they do differently, haven't you? The other one on the right-hand side, they're the 6 things the world's best sales managers won't tell you. And there are really great reports behind those, which I have written. And if I scroll it down, obviously there's where we capture information, where they can click to download the free report, and a whole lot of other great stuff that you've written, some of our clients that we work with, which is much more impressive than the other ones, some testimonials, and a video here. Now, I think we're going to have a pop-out video where this is going to pop out in advance. at the top, a little bit like yours, so people can play it. Now, let me just play this and just to show the impact of this. It's only 46 seconds, but does it grab you? Does it make you think, I really like to get a free report here? So let me just click on that, and maybe you can go full screen.
Are you an Australian looking for guaranteed improvement on your sales success, but sick of wasting money and time on one-day speakers and seminars? Well, at Top Gun Business Academy, our risk-free sales coaching program provides ongoing training and proven results, with 93% of participants achieving a 30% or more increase in sales within 90 days. With me, Wayne Berry, you'll learn techniques and strategies tailored for the Australian market and how to apply them in your chosen industry, with ongoing support and extraordinary results. Click now to download our industry-leading free reports for salespeople and sales managers and find out why more than 500,000 Australians have partnered with Top Gun Business Academy for guaranteed sales success.
Okay, so that is a somewhat different approach to what we had previously. If you look at that, in fact, I'll get you to bring up that that comparison while you can continue to. Just before you do, I hope you like that video. It's produced by our friends at We Are Video, and I'll just flip over, there it is there, We Are Video. If anyone would like to talk with them about producing videos like that, Kristen Curcio, the principal of that company, has been a guest presenter on this Top Gun Web TV in the past, talking about the creation of those videos. And we have someone standing by there this morning if anyone would like to speak to Michael Pollard, who is handling things there on 1300 444546. You can find them, that number, on their website anyway, wearevideo.com.au. They produce great videos, and if you have a look at our website, you'll see a lot of videos now populate our website, and they have all been created by We Are Video. So back over to you, Sabri, if you want to bring up that comparison and just have a talk about what it is that we're doing there, and that concept of, I think you call it results in advance, do you not? Results in advance.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll certainly go into results in advance in a moment. So basically what you can see up on my screen is what Wayne's site used to look like, and what it does look like right now and what it's about to look like. And then you can see on the right-hand side. So obviously, as Wayne kind of touched on before, left-hand side, the headline is the ultimate sales incentive prize in 2015. There's obviously, the typical slider at the top, some links, some navigation to some other stuff, and perhaps, the feature image that you can see of Top Gun Whitsundays, which is the latest thing. And that's generally the format of most websites. We always say, unfortunately, websites are kind of created by graphic designers, not internet marketing guys that simply know how to generate leads and to turn that traffic into actual inquiries and into revenue for your business. And then you can see on the landing page that we've developed, the first thing is the bold headline, close more deals, make more sales, guaranteed. And then it goes into, a small paragraph, telling you a little bit more, so double clicking kind of on that headline. And then the free reports. Download, your free reports. So it's essentially, we're telling people exactly what we want them to do from the moment that they get to the site. And so there's, call to actions all around. Then we've got, social proof elements with the clients that we've worked with. And then you scroll down, you get the video again, and then another, download free report. So if you looked at the statistics from, Wayne's site, you would see that, I haven't even looked at your Google Analytics, but I can tell you right now that it would be between, 1 and 3% of people are actually going to click onto your Contact Us page and get in contact with you. Where from developing this landing page, having these free reports, anyone that comes through to your site, whether, they're a sales manager or they're a salesperson looking to get the skills, and all the knowledge that you have in a free report with very, very little commitment to them. It's free. They just have to leave their contact details and they get this valuable content off you. You'll start to experience, those numbers that we're talking about, as high as 30% on those conversion rates. So, which kind of leads me into the next point that you wanted me to talk about, which is the RIA method, which is, stands for results in advance. So with the results in advance, strategies, basically what we mean by that is that if you look out there in the marketplace, as I was saying before, everybody's basically saying, come and buy my stuff, come and buy my stuff, whether it's a wedding photographer, or a plumber or a television salesperson, whatever it might be, it's always around kind of, we've got the biggest range and the lowest prices, come and buy our stuff. And you just think about it, if you were, for instance, looking at sales training, and you're in the market for some sales training, and everybody's saying, get in contact with me, I'm the best sales trainer, I've been in business for 30 years. And then there's somebody that comes out, like Wayne is going to do, and gives you, a free report that actually, shows that they can help you by actually helping you. It's a very novel concept. And to double click on that, a little bit more, the first thing that we've implemented with you is, for instance, lead magnets, which is going to obviously transform the amount of actual leads that you get coming through to your site. But the other way is, with this results in advance method, what we're talking about is, perhaps having a video series where you address a certain problem that salespeople have, and then let them implement that strategies that you're talking about. They'll go away, they'll implement it, and they'll go, oh my God, this stuff actually works. And to give you a kind of specific example, it might be that salespeople are, find that they're always hitting people's voicemails. And, whenever they're making prospecting calls, they tend to get a voicemail more often than not. It might be, learn this simple strategy that will double the amount of callbacks that you get on your voicemails. And it can just tell them, some quick, 5 bullet points of what to leave on a voicemail to get 50% of more people to actually call you back from that voicemail. And it's a video series where you're just providing that value well in advance from ever saying, hey, I'm Wayne Barry, I've got this great sales training program. You're actually giving them that value in advance, showing you that it's going to work. They use it, they can see the changes. And then when it does come down to buy, you've already created so much goodwill that they actually will be buying more from you.
Look, absolutely, I agree with you, and that's been my philosophy around delivering value in advance through our Top Gun video tips that go out on a weekly basis. But I can see how I can tie this much more now to something that you call creating a sales funnel, because this is what you're now starting to talk about, is it not? Creating a sales funnel where there's a certain sequence in which you continue to develop the relationship. Would you like to just share with our viewers that concept of sales funnel? It's a term that many people are familiar with, but until I sat down next to you and looked at how you'd structured it on your screen there, I didn't totally understand or appreciate. So please, just tell us more about that.
Yeah, sure. So I guess that the whole sales funnel approach really, came about where, if you think about, someone seeing an ad and just calling up and making a purchase is quite an irrational thing to do. And as we were talking about before, only usually 1 to 3% of the entire market are actually looking to do that. So with what the sales funnel allows you to do, it basically allows you to have a free report or a video series or whatever value it might be, whether it's a free analysis, something, as I was saying before, with very, very little commitment to the user. And it allows them to, for instance, opt in. It allows you to create that value and, that goodwill in the marketplace before ever asking for a purchase. And what I mean by that, say, for instance, if you look at someone downloads one of our free reports, this is essentially what one of our sales funnel looks like. So, they download the report and it waits a day, and then, the next day you get an email with, basically, that email has got some more great strategies, some free advice. It opens that opportunity to create a dialogue with that person that you wouldn't have had otherwise had. And then the next day they'll get another video. They'll get another email with a video in it, and again, much more free content. People can literally take these concepts that we're talking about that don't need King Kong's help. They can just take those if they want and go away, implement them into their business and grow their business. So it's not about getting someone into your sales funnel and just hammering them with offers and, trying to sell them and hard close them and things like that. It's really about getting them in there and really providing that value well in advance, from ever asking for anything in return. So basically what you can see from this sales funnel is that, you know, it's a strategical move. You can see it goes through, it's a 23-day, you know, follow-up program that really provides them with lots of value up front, and then, you know, offers an opportunity for you guys to obviously get in contact with us and for us to kind of dig and dive into your business and see how, you know, we can help you. So, you know, by that time when it does come time to speak with us, you've already gotten so much value. You know, you're indoctrinated to, you know, what our strategies are, what our methodologies are, and how they can help you grow. And, you know, it basically results in a lot more sales qualified leads coming through.
Yeah, and I've been on the receiving end of this system since I made the initial inquiry with you, and despite the fact that, you know, I've been having conversations and talking about this, I get those emails at regular intervals, and it always adds values, always extra ideas, and sometimes you'll make an offer, such as you offer a 30-minute consult, do you not?
Yeah, so you know, strategy session where basically we offer the opportunity to basically dive into that person's business and have a look at their numbers, see how we can increase their conversion rates, their upticks, and basically just the amount of revenue that their website generates.
Okay, now what competitive advantage do you think King Kong has in the marketplace in terms of what it is that you can offer? I mean, I'm sure there are other people doing the kind of things that you're doing. Mind you, I haven't come across them. I haven't been as impressed. What competitive advantage are you offering our viewers this morning, possibly, who are thinking of doing something with their website and want more leads?
Sure. Well, look, we're a growth-focused digital marketing agency, and we really specialize in driving highly qualified traffic through to our clients' websites, and then help, you know, whether it's a website or a landing page, and then helping convert that traffic into leads and inquiries. And look, we're kind of the only company in Australia that actually guarantees results. So I guess that's kind of, you know, our catch cry is kind of like, don't waste your time with promises when we guarantee results. So we will literally look at your business, see what we can do for you, and see if there's a good fit. And if we believe that we can help you grow it, we'll actually guarantee to show you results.
Okay, interesting. We have quite a few questions coming up, and I would invite the viewers to submit your questions. I do have some questions that were submitted in advance, so just let me a little look at some of the list of questions we have here. We've got one here from Hayden Thorley, who is from Brisbane, I know, with Thurroclean. So how would this method work on a business offering a product? I'm not quite sure. Possibly you've covered that. A business covering a product.
Oh, no, we haven't really covered it. I can double click on that and give Hayden a bit of details on how that would work.
Okay. Did you want to just talk about that now for our wider audience?
Yeah, sure. So basically the way that essentially it would work for a product, as, you know, say for instance, you were, you know, selling water filters or running shoes, whatever the product is, it doesn't really matter. And it generally would work probably a little bit better for products that have a little bit more of a high ticket price to them. But, you know, you're in the market for a water filter and you're looking around and everyone's saying, oh, you know, buy this twin stage water filter, it's $300, and everyone's kind of comparing on prices and facts and spec sheets and all that kind of stuff. And you come out and say, look, you know, find out the 5 critical things that you must know about a water filter and what's in your water before buying a water filter. And then you give them a free report about, you know, all the different, you know, chemicals and pesticides that are in water and what to avoid and what to look for in a water filter. And you're really kind of setting the buying criteria at that stage and basically providing them a lot of value about, you know, what to look out for, and provide that value through, you know, a series of emails or videos. And, you know, when you're looking, if you think about it, if you're looking around for a water filter and everybody's talking about price, and then there's one guy that's coming out and saying, hang on, let me tell you the 5 things that you must know before even looking at a water filter beyond price. And he's providing all that value. That's positioning you as the authority, as the expert. And, you know, that gravitates in, people really resonate with that and go, hang on, like, this guy knows everything about water filters. Obviously his water filters are going to be the best.
Okay, interesting. I've got a couple of other questions here. Well, actually, quite a long list of questions here. Let me see if I can spot some that possibly we haven't answered already. Scott Cooper from Remdex in Carina in Queensland says, we're a wholesaler and some of our retailers are featuring more prominently. They are on a Google search. How do we get ahead of them? Have you answered that question, I wonder? How do you get ahead?
No, I haven't really. I can go into that a little bit. So yeah, look, that's a problem that a lot of people face, whether it's they've got franchisees or whatever it might be. The whole thing is Google doesn't care about the size of your organization or anything like that. So they've got certain metrics that they look at, and it's basically based on authority of the website. So those guys that you see that are popping up, for instance, are probably working on SEO, or they've got a bunch of links coming from websites, and Google sees them as being more credible and having more authority than your website. So by implementing SEO and looking at ways to increase the authority of your website, it's something that you actively need to work at in order for you to basically come above them. So it's something that you can definitely do, but it's like anything in life, it takes time and energy.
Okay, and obviously you can help with help Scott with that. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's certainly what we do.
Okay, Hamish McLean of Harrows in Redruth in Timaru, am I pronouncing that right, in New Zealand, says, how can we generate more of the right leads in the market we're chasing, and not just the small inquiries that take a lot of time? Is there any way of getting better quality leads, do you think?
There certainly is. So look, what we generally say is it depends on what the nature of your business is and what you're trying to do. So in the startup stage of a website or of a business, you have basically most business operators, they want to get as many leads as they possibly can, and they basically they want to get any lead coming in. They'll take any job because they're a startup. They're living off that kind of cash flow that's coming in. So we would say don't have any pre-qualifying questions or anything like that for those guys, because it's all about they need to get as many leads as possible. For companies that are a bit more established, they want to pick and choose the best jobs. There's certainly ways to pre-qualify that audience, whether it's mentioning your prices up front or stipulating the kind of businesses that you work with. Like, we only work with businesses that have 25 plus employees, for instance, or this is what our prices are. That will help you funnel out a lot of those kind of tire kickers, or a lot of those people that perhaps aren't in a position to purchase your product or purchase your services, and allows you to kind of weed those out. If you're in a service-based business and there's a certain type of kind of prospect, your ideal kind of buyer that you're looking to do, generally, it's about establishing yourself as authority and putting out lots of great content that addresses the questions that those people might be going through at the point of purchasing. And when they're looking around and doing their research, they're going to keep on seeing your articles popping up on numerous things and go, hang on, this guy's they're obviously the authority in their industry, and that will basically attract a lot of those kind of bigger clients.
Okay, I have a question from Jim Walker, Director of Marketing, EasyFast in Sydney. He says, if you have many products and target sectors available to you, should you target based on sales potential only, or focus on areas where potential is lower but competition is less?
Yep, sure. Well, basically the two metrics that we look at, which really underpin the success of any kind of campaign, is first of all, you have to look at what is the lifetime value of a client. So those different sectors that you're talking about with, competition and all of that stuff, what I suggest that you look at is, which is the sector that has the highest lifetime value for you, and then obviously test the second metric, which is what is our cost to acquire a customer or to acquire a sale. And as long as that lifetime value is greater than what the cost is to acquire that person, then that's a scalable formula. And what we would probably suggest is that you look at developing a landing page for all those different market sectors and do a little bit of testing and see what your cost to acquire a client is in each of those spaces, and then have a look at which one has the highest lifetime value, and whichever of those formulas works out, okay, this is, our lifetime value minus our cost to acquire, whichever has the greatest number and the greatest margin in there is where we would suggest that you focus most of your budget and most of your resources.
Okay, interesting. I've got one that's just come through live from Amy Brockwell, who says, can this method be applied to all industries? For example, the diagnostic imaging industry, whereby you can't really offer a free X-ray as radiation exposure is undesirable. There's a curly one.
Yeah, well, look, I certainly think that it can be applied to all industries, and people might obviously, might not want to go and get it, but the fact is that they probably have to if they're in the market and they're looking out for that. So again, it's, if everyone's offering a product that perhaps looks the same, in getting a scan, then what is a way that you can differentiate? And I'm sure there'd be things that you must know before going to do that. I'm sure not everyone's equal, or there might be other tests and scans that you might need to do before or after. So again, it's, it's about providing whatever that information is, whatever kind of that hair on fire question that your prospect has, and packaging that in a way, whether it's a video or a free report, that gets them to download that before they're actually in a position to book in and come and get a scan. And that will basically separate you from what we call all the lameness that is taking place in most industries.
Right. Okay. Did you say hair on fire question? I've not heard that expression.
Yeah. Look, like it really is. We refer to it as a hair on fire question. In our business, the hair on fire question is people need more leads. They need to grow their business.
Yep.
And they've always kind of got some thorn in their side, or their hair's on fire, and where they come to us with that number one question.
I like it. I like it. Graham Maskell, sales manager, Gazelle Group in Devonport. Says, does Google attract all ages to the internet search, or is this Generation Y? That's a good question.
No, look, it basically, we're in a position right now where 94% of Australians are going to Google when they're basically looking for a product or service. So we've got clients, that sell, financial planning care for, aged care. So it's not industry biased. My grandma goes online. You find that there's lots of people that are always going online. Everything that we're doing now is accustomed to getting people online, whether it's online banking or paying bills. So we do lead generation for industries that cater to an older demographic, which is generally, they're the ones that kind of have the highest return on investments, because the Gen Y guys don't really spend as big as some of the older demographics do.
Yeah, very, very true. And of course, with our mobile devices, wherever we go these days, even if we're at a shopping centre or something like that, so often we will, I don't know about you, but I do, I look to see, where's the nearest supplier that has this sort of thing. So yeah, we're very, very connected. Interesting question here from Jason Donald, Director of Thermo Group in Leeton. That's in Australia somewhere, I believe. New South Wales, as I recall. Can SEO be done in-house, or is it outsourcing the best method for SEO? So just to explain what SEO is again for those who don't know what that term means. I know, but...
Sure. So SEO is search engine optimization. It's all about making sure that your website appears higher up on Google when people are looking for the products or services that you sell. And so look, to answer the question about can it be done, internally, it certainly can. It just depends on what your resources are. For a good SEO guy, to come and work internally in your business, you would not be paying them anything less than 80 grand a year. And so if you look at kind of where your business is at and what kind of resources that you have to apply, and whether or not it would warrant having a full-time employee, and looking at, what the cost trade-off is to basically work with an external party and outsource that. Generally with the working with, an outsourced company, obviously we're biased because we are an outsourced company that you outsource it to. But, we've obviously got a team of guys that are constantly always keeping up to date with all the trends, and we can bounce ideas off each other and constantly learning. And generally you'll find that by going with an agency, you can probably get it kind of at 1/3 of what you would pay for an internal guy.
And is SEO something, it's a process that you do on an ongoing basis? You're constantly doing SEO work. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, it certainly is. Like, I wish it was just like a set and forget strategy where you just flick a switch and then, it pings Google and Google goes, yeah, this website is great. But it's like anything, if you want to lose weight, you don't go to the gym once and just, that's it, it's done. And, you're just on a path of getting lean. So it's like anything, it requires time to create, attention, and you need to constantly work at it, because page one of Google is the most valuable real estate in the world right now. And, everyone wants to be on page one of Google. There's only 10 organic listings. So it's obviously everyone's trying to get up on page one. So it does require constant work to make sure that you get up there, and not only get up there, but you stay up there.
And one of the strategies, thank you for that, and one of the strategies that you talk about in that little video that I showed before that's on your website was using Google AdWords. You might just talk a little bit about Google AdWords. People are familiar with that, I guess, that term. There's many alternatives to Google AdWords. For example, you sat down with me and you looked at what the cost of clicks for Google AdWords would be in my category versus doing it another way, which is, for example, using a pre-roll video on YouTube. So you might just talk about some of those methods there, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, sure. So basically we are not channel biased. So we don't just say, oh, we're an SEO company, that's all we do, just get on page one of Google in the organic listings, blindly to say that's the best option without having a look at it. So when I say we're not channel biased, is we are all about getting highly qualified traffic, whatever channel that comes from, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, SEO, organic Google, or whether it's the paid ads on Google, or whether it's YouTube. We really don't care, as long as it basically provides our client with a really good return on investment. So say, for instance, what we look at is, in an industry, every industry is different. Some have, a higher adoption rate with things like Google AdWords, and that basically results in a higher cost per click or more competition in SEO. So what we basically look at is, we don't have a cookie cutter approach to the way that we work. We have a look at each business individually and have a look at what are the opportunities? How much does it cost to buy traffic through things like Google AdWords? How competitive it is to get your website ranked in the organic listings of Google, and how much would that cost? What's the opportunity like on Facebook? Is there a good opportunity to do YouTube ads, for instance? So we look at all the different channels and see where is it that we can get you the best return on investment based on what your budget is, what position that you're in, and then basically implement a strategy using that. So, the internet is such, obviously, a fast changing landscape. And, whether it's, Google yesterday and Facebook today, or whatever it might be, it's all going to be about driving highly qualified traffic through to a landing page or a website for people that are looking for your products and services. So we really have a look at your business and see what is going to be the best strategy for you.
Okay, yeah, because I must admit, since I contacted you, you pop up everywhere. You're haunting me. I go to book a movie ticket, you're there. I go to book a flight somewhere with Webjet or something, you're there. You're there everywhere. And I think you said that's something extra that you're doing, which you can show clients how to do that with cookies.
Yeah, look, it's basically called remarketing. So you can remarket, across all platforms. And for the people that perhaps don't know about what remarketing is, it's basically, for instance, someone comes to our website, we drop a cookie on them, and then they, will basically be displayed our ads if they go to another website, whether it's, The Age or the Sydney Morning Herald, or like you went to book movie tickets and fortunately saw us. And we understand that in our market, for instance, people, generally, it's not a transactional sale where they just come through and they, for instance, just buy it. They're generally looking around at a few companies, getting a few quotes, and it generally is a process that takes between a week to maybe 6 weeks. And we want to make sure that we are, top of mind for that person as they do that process. They're getting leads from a few other people. We're following them around. We're not following them around and screaming to buy our products.
Not at all.
We're following them around and saying, download this free report, get this content, get educated, basically. Yeah. And it allows us to really, keep in that top of mind when they're in that in that point where they're actually looking to make a purchase. And that's something that can be done very inexpensively. You know, remarketing is the cheapest type of paid traffic that you can do on the internet. And it's something that has a very, very high ROI.
Okay, and we're all becoming familiar now with YouTube. When we go to look at a YouTube video on something, very often there's what they call a pre-roll video, which is an advertisement there at the beginning that we can click through if we like, or if it grabs our attention, we can watch it. That's a fairly inexpensive way as well, and you can target certain demographics, can you not? With
Yes,
YouTube?
you certainly can. So basically, the way that it works is, you know, generally you have a channel will come about, everyone will go onto that channel, and then, you know, the cost of it will go up quite dramatically. So if you look at Google AdWords, for instance, you know, Google AdWords initially was, you would basically be paying kind of 20 and 30 cents a click. And then, you know, as it became the fastest growing sales channel and advertising channel, everyone started to get on board with that. And then what happened is obviously the prices go up. So, you know, every few years there's certain channels that come about that are getting huge amount of people coming up. First it was Google AdWords, you know, then Facebook got big. Facebook is starting to get very crowded. And the next channel, you know, which is the second biggest search engine in the world is YouTube. And so right now the adoption rate of YouTube is very low for advertisers. And that's because there's a bit more of a barrier to entry. You actually have to go through the trouble of producing a video and then setting up a campaign. With Google AdWords, you know, you can be set up in 5 minutes. You just write a quick, you know, text ad and away you go. So YouTube requires a little bit more dedication. And because of that, what we're seeing is very, very low cost per click, low cost per conversions, and low cost per view. You know, you can get views on your YouTube ads for, you know, as lower than kind of 10 cents a view. And you, for all those people out there that are kind of thinking, well, I never ever watch a YouTube ad, I just click on that skip button. The beauty about it is that you don't pay if somebody does that. So you only pay if someone's watched, say, 30 seconds of your ad.
Yeah, and of course, if you grab people's attention in the first few seconds, even if they don't watch the rest of it, it's giving that exposure there. And our friends at We Are Video are certainly experts in producing those little ads. I must admit, they sent me one yesterday that really I think is one of the most impressive I've seen. Really grabs attention very well. Of course, I'm a little bit biased. It's advertising us, I guess. Let me quickly go through these questions. We're coming up to the hour now, and I normally like to keep these under an hour, but we do have some more questions. You may have answered this one already. Leah Zard of Canterbury in New Zealand says, how do I get more customers to use our consulting services? I guess you've kind of spoken a little bit about that in terms of delivering value in advance with free reports.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Dale Senior from GM Hygiene Technologies in Hastings in New Zealand. We have a lot of New Zealanders as clients who join us. How do I create leads for a product that fixes problems fixes problems people don't realize they've actually got? They're not even searching for the problem.
Yep, well that's the beauty. So say for instance, with Google, the way that Google obviously work is it's a demand engine. So if people aren't searching for it, doesn't matter if your ads are displaying, you're never getting any clicks or any conversion. So that's not going to do you much good. So what we would look at is we would, for instance, look at a channel, for instance, like Facebook, where we can have a look at what your buyer persona looks like. So have a look at, you know, what books they've read, what celebrities they follow, you know, whatever it might, you know, they might have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or it's a business kind of thing, and target people based on what your kind of prospect looks like. So it might be they live in Sydney, they're males, and then the age kind of bracket of 25 to 45 years old. And target them, because they don't have to be searching for it. They're going to simply be displayed your ad based on what those demographics look like. So if you've already got existing customers, you can have a look at what their profiles look like, where they're located, what their ages are, what type of industry that they're in, and focus on targeting those prospects through Facebook. But again, it's not about going onto Facebook and looking at those demographics and just saying, here's our service, buy it. It's also about creating that lead magnet, giving them something of value that they can download, and maybe highlighting what those problems are even a bit more.
Okay, makes sense to me. Here's one from Brent George. Green Tank Dunedin in New Zealand says, does this type of marketing work for B2B, very specific market segment technical products, or is it just B2C, business to consumer, consumer goods and services? Again, I think you've kind of answered that.
Well, look, it is a question that we get faced with quite a lot, and B2B is where we really kind of specialize. With the business transactions, generally the good thing about them is they're obviously a lot higher of a lifetime value of a client. It's generally a bigger ticket price. Therefore, you can afford to spend more to acquire a customer. So look, even if it's the most specific industries, we've got people that do, rocket valve covers and for engineers and things like that. And ultimately with those guys, they're not in a market like B2C where they need to pump out thousands of leads and customers. They might be looking at getting 1 or 2 really good customers a month or even a year, depending on what the value of your product is. And it's like anything. Where do you think people are doing their research? You know what I mean? They're certainly not looking at the yellow pages anymore. They're going to be doing their research online. So you can get in front of them when they're looking for what it is that you're offering. That, of course, is going to in turn generate in leads and sales for you.
Okay, Kevin Seeley, one of our old friends in South Australia, global group of companies, South Australia, also operating, I think, in North America. Should changes to your website happen only after you've given time to see the effect of the last changes that were made, or should it be happening constantly?
Well, we're all about testing and measuring. So it depends on how much traffic that you're getting your website. If you're getting 1,000 visits a day, that's something that you can test quite quickly, make some changes, see what that has in a result to your conversion rates and measuring that and seeing how it works, and then making changes based on how much traffic you're getting. But it's not something that if you're getting 30 visits to your website that you want to change something one day and then, we didn't get as many leads, we want to change it again tomorrow. So you need to basically let it run to get some good data in there and see what those results are making. So it all depends on how much traffic that you are getting.
Okay, good. Here's another one. How important is social media in the internet marketing field, and which is the most effective of the various sites? Now, that is a question that constantly comes up. That's from John Martin Brown from Mount Gambier in South Australia.
Okay, sure. Well, I don't know what industry that you're in, and like everything, it's not a cookie cutter approach. We can't say, oh, look, LinkedIn is the best. It's the best, network for everybody. So it doesn't work like that. It all depends on what type of business that you're in and what the dynamic is. For instance, if you are a financial planner, then we would probably say, look, LinkedIn would probably be a good place for you to start. You can target, certain net worth individuals based on, C-level executives or whatever it might be, and create content and establish yourself as an authority or a thought leader. Talk about ways to, offset your tax or structure your trust or your company, whatever it might be. Whereas you're a catering company and your product is very visual, we'd probably say, look, Instagram is going to be fantastic for you. You can use hashtag and drive traffic. So you're a, wedding dress company. Products that are generally visual work best on platforms like Instagram or Facebook, where B2B and service-based industries generally they also do good on Facebook, but more so on LinkedIn, where you can post a good little hack and a good little tip for any of the service-based businesses out there is you can join groups on LinkedIn and create content and publish them into those groups that generally have hundreds, if not multiple thousands of people. And then they can see the article, see the value, and then obviously, as we keep preaching, download some type of lead magnet, and then they're going to enter into your sales funnel.
Yeah, very good. There's a question here, I think it has been answered already. It was for Pete Funnell of Mirror Paints in Melbourne, where he says Google AdWords have been of little return. The last time we tried, so we're cautious about wasting money. What tips would you have on being more successful? I think you have covered that one. I have one coming up here on the screen here now from Christelle Topatan says, do you manage Infusionsoft for your lead nurturing internally or outsource it? Now, what you showed on the screen there before, that schematic, that was actually from Infusionsoft, was it not? So there's a good question.
That was, yeah. So look, we're basically, we obviously identify a certain few things as being core to what we do as a business. And obviously one of those things is sales and marketing. So that's certainly something that we do manage internally. And it's something that we look at, testing and measuring constantly. We have a look at, we set up nurturing programs, not only for us, but for our clients. And it's something that we look at daily and test and measure and see how many people are in the funnel, where they're getting stuck, how to move them down. Because to double click on that a little bit more, with the sales funnel that we were talking about before, you kind of have a top of sales funnel offer, which is a lead magnet or a free report. And then you have certain offers that are, middle of the funnel and then the bottom of the funnel. And that's something that we develop and can certainly implement for anyone that's looking to do that.
Well, look, certainly I get questions all the time from people asking, what database would I recommend? What email system do we use? And right now we have a bit of a combination of Zoho, which is a cloud-based CRM system. We also have an email system called Ace of Sales, and we're just going to start looking at what systems are around that could combine all that. Infusionsoft seems to be one that's that offers a good solution there. I think you said there was another one called HubSpot, was it?
Yeah, look, basically there's obviously lots of different CRMs out there, from Salesforce to what have you, but really the next trend in marketing, which is not really being adopted so widely yet in Australia and is just starting to really kind of take off in the States, is basically marketing automation. So that's certainly what you want to look for in your CRM. There's, as I was saying, there's hundreds if not thousands of CRMs out there, but you want to look at a platform that not only acts as a CRM but also helps you automate a lot of the tasks that you might have people doing internally. And two platforms to look out for that really is Infusionsoft or HubSpot, which are based on whatever your certain requirements may be.
Okay, so if viewers are interested in knowing more about that, it's a subject I'm considering for a future Top Gun Web TV event, possibly in July or August, because it is an area I'm looking at right now. And again, I look at these areas and I think, wow, gee, I discover someone who's an authority in that industry, who has something to offer, and I often bring them on the program. So I am speaking to a number of people right now about those marketing automation systems, and my plan is to implement and do something myself. And when I do, I will probably introduce you to, if there's enough interest, to the company that we work with or the individual that we work with who has been able to advise me, because it is the next step for me. It's just cumbersome what we do now. We have a CRM system, we have our emailing system, and there's an awful lot of manual work, and some of these systems bring it all together in terms of making appointments and managing diaries and salespeople and the whole thing. Very, very interesting, cuts a lot of time and a lot of work. So look, we've just come up to a little over the 1 hour mark. So let me thank you, Sabri, for being with us this morning, giving of your time here now generously, also for working with me, and we're going to continue to work on an ongoing basis as you help us to make our web marketing more effective. So you put in many, many hours in preparation for this and also working with us, which I'm very grateful for. Now, you made a mention of an offer before, which I'd like you, if you would be so kind, as to perhaps repeat that right now to any of our viewers watching this, either live or watching the recording. And I should mention that many, many, many more people actually watch the recording than actually join us live because of the time constraints. So if you're watching this as a recording, this offer I discussed with Sabri will apply for the next 7 days from when you watch this. So please feel free to contact Sabri. So Sabri, what was your idea here? Now I see you've thrown this up on the screen.
Yeah, look, first of all, I obviously want to thank you for the opportunity, and I hope everybody has gotten a great amount of actionable wisdom that they can kind of take away and implement into their business that will help you grow. What we would like to offer all of the people listening, now and into the future, as I was saying, for a 7-day kind of window, is a free 30-minute strategy session, which is usually $447. And basically what that will be is a strategy call where we really dive into your business, have a look at what you're doing, look at your numbers and look at where are the biggest opportunities for you to grow your business online. And that's certainly something that basically, if you go to kingkong.com.au, you can go /Top Gun. It should be up there. If it's not up there now, it'll be up live in the next kind of 30 minutes. And basically download that free report, and also get in touch for your free 30-minute strategy session. And we'll see, what are the best ways for you moving forward to help you grow the amount of traffic that you're getting, grow the amount of leads that you're getting, and ultimately grow the amount of revenue that your website generates for your business.
Okay, that's a great offer, and I hope that our viewers will take you up on that, because you and I certainly have sat down, you've done that consultation with me, and it was enormously valuable to me. So thank you to everyone for joining us for this Top Gun video, Top Gun TV video event, and to our viewers from all around the world. I guess now if you're in the United Kingdom, you'll be able to go to sleep now. It's after midnight there. In the United States on the East Coast, I guess you'll be able to, it'll be happy hour or something around that time. And to those up in Southeast Asia and across the Tasman, thank you for joining us this morning. Miranda Howell, a little message for you. I know you're traveling from Shenyang down to Beijing today on the bullet train, so do take care. And I believe it's very hot up there. You're telling me yesterday around about 28-30 degrees, so stay cool and stay safe. So thank you for joining us, and as I always say, regardless of where you are in the world, have a great day and make it a great day. It will be the day that you make it. So I will say bye for now, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sabri.
Bye guys, thank you.